My people, as we settle down to talk about this sad and very concerning situation, let us move step by step so that we truly understand what has happened, what it means, and why it is touching so many hearts across the nation. And please, as you are listening, kindly remember to like this video and subscribe so that more people can hear this story and stay informed. What happened in Kaduna is something that has shaken many homes, many families, and many believers. A priest, a man whose daily life was dedicated to service, prayer, guidance, and peace, was taken from his own home by armed men. He had already been missing for weeks, and people were praying, hoping, waiting for good news. But instead, the sad update came. He lost his life in captivity. It is a heavy thing to say, and a heavier thing for the community to accept. When a religious leader, someone who stands in front of people to preach hope and comfort, becomes a victim of such violence, it places a dark cloud over the entire community. People begin to ask themselves if anyone is truly safe. People begin to question how such a gentleman, dedicated to his parish and his people, could be taken in such a painful way. And as we are discussing this, I want you watching to please like this video and subscribe, because stories like this must be told properly and with respect. This is not just a single incident. It is part of a bigger matter. Over the past months, Kaduna has seen repeated attacks on communities, on worship centers, and even on pastors and priests. Some were kidnapped during services, some were taken from their homes, and some were attacked while simply living their everyday lives. This is the reality that many families there face, and this particular case of the priest who lost his life adds another painful chapter. Imagine a family waking up in the night to the sound of gunshots and confusion. Imagine a wife and children calling for help, unsure of what is happening, watching armed men take their father away. Imagine a church congregation gathering every Sunday to pray for his release, only to receive a heartbreaking message that their leader is gone. These are the human emotions behind the headline. And as you reflect on this, kindly like this video and subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. Now, one of the things that has stood out to many Nigerians is how frequently religious figures have become targets. Just a few weeks before this incident, another pastor was attacked in Kaduna, and over 20 worshippers were taken away. These repeated tragedies create fear. People begin to feel that the places meant to give spiritual refuge are no longer safe. Parents begin to feel anxious. Youths begin to lose trust in the system. And even though we continue to hope, the pain remains strong. But we must also talk about the strength of the communities. Each time such an event happens, people gather. They comfort one another. They share prayers, they share food, they share tears, and they hold hands in unity. They tell themselves that even though evil has tried to shake them, they will not allow it to break them. And you watching right now, kindly like this video and subscribe so that you can support content like this that spreads awareness and unity. In this particular case, the church leadership spoke with heavy hearts. They said it was a painful loss, a wound that will remain for a long time. They described him as a man of peace, a man who served faithfully, a man who cared deeply for families, for children, for the elderly, for the poor. To them, he was not only a priest, he was a father figure, a counselor, a voice of reason. And losing such a person in this manner leaves a scar that is not easy to heal. This also brings us to a deeper part of the gist, the ongoing struggle with insecurity. Nigeria is a country filled with brilliant people, hardworking people, loving people. Yet many communities are still dealing with attacks, kidnappings, and violence that seem to appear suddenly and without warning. In some villages, the fear of nightfall is real. People go to bed uncertain if they will hear gunshots or shouting. Families sleep with one ear open. Children grow up learning what fear is too early, and still they continue to survive, they continue to hope, and they continue to pray. As we are taking our time to break down this story, I want you, dear listener, to please pause for just a moment and like this video and subscribe. It helps this channel reach more people who need to hear what is happening in their country. So thank you for doing that. Now, let us talk about how the nation responds. Whenever something like this happens, statements come out. Security agencies discuss their plans. Leaders express sadness. But many ordinary Nigerians feel that real change is too slow. They feel that promises are repeated, but the situation on the ground remains the same. They feel that their loved ones are too exposed to danger. This frustration builds up, and it becomes part of everyday conversation. In markets, in churches, in bus parks, in offices, and even in social gatherings. And because of this, the death of the priest is not just a story about one man. It becomes a symbol of all the lives affected by insecurity. When people talk about him, they also talk about others who were taken. They talk about the 20 worshippers kidnapped. They talk about the young children abducted on their way to school. They talk about the farmers who were attacked on their land. This story becomes a doorway into a much bigger national conversation. But even with all this, Nigerians remain strong. One thing that can never be removed from the Nigerian spirit is resilience. The strength to rise again. The strength to pray. The strength to rebuild. The strength to hope. And the strength to continue demanding a safer future for everyone. And as you are here listening, kindly like this video and subscribe, because together we can make these conversations louder and more impactful. I want you to picture the church on the Sunday after the news was confirmed. Picture the atmosphere. Picture the silence in the room before the service begins. Picture the faces of the worshippers. Some crying, some praying silently, some staring into space, struggling to accept what has happened. Picture the empty seat where the priest used to sit. Picture the sound of the choir singing slowly, gently, trying to comfort the hearts of the people. Picture the message from the bishop, filled with sorrow, yet encouraging the congregation to stay united and strong. These emotional details matter because they help us understand that behind news headlines are real human beings, real families, real communities, real pain. And as we continue, please remember to like this video and subscribe so that we can keep telling stories with compassion and truth. Let us now move deeper into the broader implications of this event and how it connects to the larger issue of safety and community trust across Nigeria